Armed into lunch and yelled, "Who owns a green backpack?" Principal Garrett's face was red. Not pink, not flushed. Red like he'd been holding his breath underwater for 2 minutes. He burst through the cafeteria doors so hard they slammed against the walls. The entire room went silent. 300 students froze mid-bite. He stood there, scanning faces, chest heaving. Then he screamed it. "Who owns a green backpack?" 6 hands went up. Mine was one of them. Big mistake. 2 security guards appeared behind him. Officer Banks and Officer Reyes, both with hands on their belts. Principal Garrett pointed at us. "You 6, with me. Now. Leave everything." I looked at my best friend Kareem. He mouthed what the hell, but I couldn't answer. I stood up with the others. Priya from art class, Leo from varsity basketball, 2 freshman girls I didn't know, David Nguyen with his ever-present headphones. We walked toward the principal like we were heading to our own execution. 300 students watched us go. Nobody made a sound. We followed Principal Garrett down the main hallway. The security guards walked behind us, blocking any chance of running. Not that I'd run. I hadn't done anything wrong. My green backpack was just a backpack. JanSport, bought on sale at Target last August. Nothing special, nothing illegal. But Principal Garrett's face said otherwise. He walked fast, not looking back, his dress shoes clicking against linoleum like a countdown timer. Click, click, click. We passed empty classrooms, past the library, past the gym. Where were we going? The principal's office was in the other direction. We turned down the science wing, past chemistry labs and biology rooms with their posters of DNA helixes and periodic tables, past the teacher's lounge where I could see Ms. Holloway drinking coffee through the window. She looked up as we passed, her expression shifting from casual to concerned when she saw the security guards. We kept walking. Principal Garrett pushed through the doors at the end of the hall, the ones that led to the auxiliary building. This part of the school was barely used. Just storage rooms and the old auditorium they'd condemned after the ceiling leak last year. Why were we here? Principal Garrett stopped in front of room 142, the old drama storage room. He pulled out a key and unlocked it. The room was dim, just one overhead light that flickered when he hit the switch. Metal shelves lined the walls, filled with old props and costume pieces covered in dust. There was a table in the center with 6 chairs arranged around it. "Sit," Principal Garrett said. His voice had dropped from shouting to something lower, more controlled. Somehow, that was worse. We sat. The 2 security guards stood by the door. Officer Banks crossed his arms. Officer Reyes pulled out his phone and started typing something. The principal paced in front of us. Back and forth, back and forth. The freshman girls were crying quietly. Priya gripped the edge of the table. Leo's leg bounced nervously. David had his headphones around his neck now, his face pale. I tried to make eye contact with any of them, tried to find some clue about what was happening. Nobody would look at me. Principal Garrett finally stopped pacing and turned to face us. "One of you brought something to school today. Something that doesn't belong here. Something dangerous." My stomach dropped. Dangerous? What could be in a backpack that would cause this kind of reaction? "We're going to do this the easy way or the hard way," Principal Garrett continued. His voice was steady now, almost calm. That scared me more than the yelling. "The easy way is someone confesses right now, tells me exactly what's in their backpack and where it is. The hard way involves police searches and everyone's parents being called. So I'm going to ask one more time." He leaned forward, hands flat on the table. "Who brought it?" Nobody spoke. The room was so quiet, I could hear the fluorescent light buzzing above us. One of the freshman girls was shaking. Principal Garrett straightened up and nodded to Officer Banks. Officer Banks stepped forward and pulled out a notepad. "We're going to ask you each some questions, one at a time, starting with you." He pointed at Leo. "Come with me." Leo stood up slowly, his basketball jersey hanging loose on his frame. He followed Officer Banks into the hallway. The door closed behind them. We could hear muffled voices through the walls, but couldn't make out words. Principal Garrett stayed in the room with us, arms crossed, watching. Officer Reyes stood by the door still typing on his phone. The minutes crawled by. 5 minutes. 10. 15. What were they asking Leo out there? The door opened and Leo came back in. His face was unreadable. Officer Banks gestured to Priya. "You're next." Priya stood up, her hands trembling. She followed Banks into the hallway. The door closed again. I tried to catch Leo's eye, but he was staring at the table, jaw clenched. What had they asked him? What had he said? The waiting was torture. My mind raced through everything in my backpack. Books, notebooks, pens, my calculator, a half-eaten granola bar, my gym clothes that probably smelled terrible. Nothing dangerous. Nothing that would warrant this. Priya came back after 20 minutes. Her eyes were red like she'd been crying. Officer Banks pointed at one of the freshman girls. "Your turn." The girl stood up so fast her chair scraped against the floor. She was shaking badly as she walked into the hallway. I could hear her voice through the door, high-pitched and scared. She was talking fast, words tumbling over each other. Then quiet, then more talking. She came back in after 15 minutes looking devastated. Officer Banks pointed at the second freshman girl. She was crying before she even stood up. When she came back, Officer Banks looked at David and me. "You two, let's go." We both stood. David's hands were shoved deep in his pockets. We followed Officer Banks into the hallway. Officer Reyes joined us, leaving Principal Garrett alone with the other four. Banks led us further down the hall to two separate classrooms across from each other. You, he pointed at David, in here, then to me. You, in there. I walked into the empty classroom. It was one of the old science labs with black countertops and gas outlets for Bunsen burners. Officer Reyes followed me in and closed the door. He gestured to a stool. I sat. He pulled out his notepad. Name? Kyle Brennan. He wrote it down. Grade? Junior. He nodded. Tell me about your backpack. Kyle. Describe it. I described it. Green JanSport. 2 main compartments. Side pockets for water bottles. A small front pocket for pens. Nothing special. He wrote everything down. When did you buy it? Last August, before school started. My mom got it at Target. He nodded again. What's in it right now? I listed everything I could remember. Textbooks for history and English. My math notebook. Pencil case. Calculator. Gym clothes. Deodorant. That granola bar I'd started eating, 3rd period. Anything else? Officer Reyes asked. His tone was neutral, but his eyes were sharp, watching my face for any tell. No, I mean, probably some old papers at the bottom. Stuff I forgot to clean out. But nothing important. He wrote more notes. Where is your backpack right now? My locker. Number 247. Wait, that number's forbidden. My locker. Number 312. He wrote it down. Anyone else have access to your locker? No, just me. Well, I mean, the school has master keys, but no other students. He nodded. Has anyone asked to borrow your backpack recently? Put something in it? Use it for anything? No. Why would they? Officer Reyes didn't answer my question. He just kept writing. Then he looked up. Kyle, this is important. Did you bring anything to school today that could be considered a weapon? Anything that could hurt someone? My heart started pounding. No, absolutely not. I swear I didn't bring anything like that. He studied my face for a long moment. If you're protecting someone, now is the time to say something. If someone put something in your backpack without your knowledge, you need to tell me. I don't know anything. I swear. My backpack is just a normal backpack with normal school stuff. Officer Reyes closed his notepad. Wait here. He left the room. I sat there alone with my thoughts spiraling. A weapon? Someone had brought a weapon to school in a green backpack? My backpack was green, but I hadn't brought anything, which meant one of the other 5 had. But who? And what kind of weapon? A knife? A gun? Something else? My hands were shaking. I'd raised my hand and volunteered myself as a suspect for something I didn't do. How was I going to prove my innocence? Would they believe me? Would they search all our lockers? What if they found something in mine that someone else had planted? The door opened. Officer Reyes came back in with Principal Garrett. The principal's face was still red, but now he looked tired too, exhausted. He sat down on one of the stools across from me. Kyle, I've known you since you were a freshman. Good grades. No disciplinary issues. Your teachers speak highly of you. He paused. So I'm going to ask you directly. Did you bring a gun to school today? The word hit me like a physical blow. A gun. Someone had brought a gun.